They say breakfast is the most important meal of the day. But what if the very foods you've trusted for decades, those colorful, sweet, and healthy fruits, are slowly stealing your strength as a man? You're about to find out why your breakfast may be the quiet reason your energy feels drained, your confidence has slipped, and your intimate moments don't feel the way they used to. Stick with me, because the fifth fruit on this list is likely in your home right now, and it might be doing more damage than you ever imagined. I'm Dr. Mohit Kara, and for over 30 years I've worked with men over 60 who felt like something was missing. Their drive was fading, energy low, and they blamed age. But what we found wasn't aging, it was misinformation. Today, I'll walk you through 7 popular fruits that could be silently killing your erections and hormone balance, especially when eaten first thing in the morning. These aren't exotic foods, they're everyday choices. And once you understand how they impact your blood flow, testosterone, and vitality, you'll never look at your breakfast plate the same way again. Let's begin with one of the most common and misleading offenders: bananas. Especially those soft, sweet, overripe ones that most people assume are perfectly healthy. Bananas are rich in potassium, yes, but also in fast-digesting sugars. When you eat a ripe banana on an empty stomach, your blood sugar spikes rapidly. That triggers a surge of insulin, a hormone that, in excess, suppresses testosterone and disrupts nitric oxide production. These two things are essential for circulation and sexual function. Over time, this morning routine starts to erode your ability to perform, not overnight, but quietly, day after day. Here's what I tell my patients. If you absolutely love bananas, don't eat them alone. Never on an empty stomach. Have them later in the day paired with healthy fats or proteins to slow that sugar release. Otherwise, you're resetting yourself up for hormonal chaos that only gets harder to recover from as you age. And if that surprised you, just wait until you hear what's next. The second fruit on this list is small, sweet, and seems innocent enough. But it is quietly flooding your system with sugar and doing even more damage to your circulation than you think. Let's talk about grapes. Small, sweet, and refreshing. They seem harmless, right? But when it comes to protecting your testosterone and performance, grapes can be one of the most deceptive fruits on your breakfast table. You see, grapes are almost entirely made of water and sugar, and that combination digests fast, too fast. When you pop a handful of grapes into your mouth in the morning, especially on an empty stomach, you're hitting your bloodstream with a sugar surge that's almost instant. That sugar spike may seem harmless, but here's what it's really doing inside your body. It raises your insulin. And when insulin rises, testosterone falls. Your blood vessels constrict, and the blood flow your body relies on for healthy, lasting erections, it slows down. I've seen this exact pattern in men who live healthy lifestyles, men who exercise, eat well, and still wonder why their drive has faded. It's not lack of effort. It's silent sabotage, hiding in the foods they trust most. So what should you do? If you love grapes, enjoy them later in the day, never first thing in the morning. And always pair them with protein or healthy fat to keep your blood sugar stable. The timing matters more than you think, especially after 60 when your body's ability to bounce back is slower. Now you might be thinking, okay, I'll just stick with fruit juice instead. But here's the hard truth. Fruit juice, especially orange juice, could be even worse. Yes, you heard me right. That glass of orange juice you've been sipping with breakfast for years, it might be doing more damage than you ever realized. Because it's not fruit, it's liquid sugar. And for your testosterone and blood vessels, that's a disaster waiting to happen. Let's talk about orange juice. It's been a breakfast staple for decades. You pour a glass, maybe next to your toast or oatmeal, thinking you're starting the day right. After all, it's full of vitamin C, right? But here's the truth. Orange juice is not a health drink. It's a sugar bomb in disguise. One glass can carry as much sugar as a soda. And unlike eating a whole orange, which contains fiber to slow absorption, juice hits your system like a wave. No brakes, no buffer. When that sugar rush hits your bloodstream on an empty stomach, it's like throwing fuel on the insulin fire. And for men over 60, that means two things: testosterone drops and blood flow tightens. The very two systems your body needs to maintain strong erections are now under attack, and at only 8 a.m. You may feel a temporary burst of energy, but by late morning the crash hits. You're more tired, less focused, and slowly your sexual response fades. Not overnight, but gradually, silently, until one day it just feels like something is missing. But it's not just the juice. Next comes the fruit that fooled even me for years. A fruit often promoted for its sexual benefits. Yes, I'm talking about watermelon. Now let's talk about watermelon. For years, I believed watermelon was a superfood for men's health. It's refreshing, hydrating, and loaded with citrulline, a compound known to improve blood flow. On paper, it looked perfect. But what I didn't realize was that watermelon, when eaten the wrong way, especially first thing in the morning, can quietly sabotage your performance. Here's why. Watermelon has a high glycemic load. That means it floods your body with sugar very quickly. Eat it on an empty stomach, and within minutes your blood sugar spikes, insulin rises, and the very circulation you were trying to boost is now under pressure. And because it digests so fast, it leaves you hungry again soon after. That often leads to more sugar cravings, more snacking, and a cycle that slowly drains your energy and erodes your erection strength. It's sneaky because watermelon feels light, healthy, even empowering. But the truth is, for men over 60, your body no longer tolerates sugar surges the way it used to. And that means even a fruit marketed as a performance enhancer can work against you if eaten at the wrong time. If you enjoy watermelon, and I do too, save it for later in the day. Never eat it first thing in the morning. And always pair it with protein or healthy fat to help stabilize your hormones. But now, let's move on to a fruit that's even more seductive. Bright, exotic, and sweet. Mangoes may be delicious, but for your testosterone, they're far from harmless. Let's take a closer look at mangoes. Mangoes are sweet, juicy, and tropical. They remind many of us of summer, of simpler times. But while they might bring back good memories for men over 60, they can quietly damage your hormones, your circulation, and your ability to perform. Here's the problem. Mangoes are packed with fructose, a type of sugar that goes straight to your liver. And once you're over 60, your liver's ability to process that sugar drops. When fructose builds up, it contributes to fatty liver, and that's directly linked to lower testosterone. Less testosterone means weaker erections, less energy, and a diminished sense of masculinity. And it doesn't stop there. Mangoes also spike your blood sugar quickly, leading to that same insulin surge that suppresses nitric oxide, the very molecule that makes strong erections possible. The worst part? Because mangoes digest fast, you're hungry again soon, setting off another round of cravings and crashes. It's a roller coaster that takes your confidence down with it. But here's what you can do. If you love mangoes, treat them like a treat. Never eat them on an empty stomach. Have a few slices after lunch when your blood sugar is more stable and your hormones are better protected. And next, we're heading into dangerous territory. The fruit that seems clean, tropical, and even good for digestion, but might be doing more damage to your erections than any other. Let's finish strong with the most deceptive fruit of all, dried fruit. Raisins, dates, apricots, they seem healthy. They're small, labeled as natural, and often marketed as smart snacks. But for men over 60, they could be one of the most dangerous things on your plate. Here's why. Dried fruits are concentrated sugar bombs. When the water is removed, what's left is pure fructose packed into a small, sweet bite. There's little fiber, no fat, no protein, nothing to slow the sugar down. So when you eat dried fruit, especially first thing in the morning, your blood sugar spikes hard. And just like we've discussed, that means insulin surges, testosterone drops, and blood flow shrinks. Over time, this healthy snack chips away at your energy, your stamina, and your sexual strength. Most men never make the connection. But if your morning erections have faded, if your drive has dulled, this might be one of the hidden reasons why. My advice? Never eat dried fruit on an empty stomach. Never make it part of breakfast. If you want a handful, enjoy it after a balanced lunch paired with protein or healthy fat. Now, what do you do with all this information? Start tomorrow morning by removing these 7 fruits from your breakfast. bananas, grapes, orange juice, watermelon, mangoes, pineapple, and dried fruit. Replace them with foods that support blood sugar and hormone health. Think eggs, avocado, a handful of berries, Greek yogurt with no added sugar. Your body will thank you. And here's the most important part. You're not too old and you're not broken. You just needed the truth and now you have it. So take this knowledge, use it, and feel your energy, your focus, and yes, your erections return. If this video opened your eyes and gave you clarity, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you want to know which fruits actually boost erections, I've got another video coming that you won't want to miss. Until then, take care of yourself. You've still got a lot of life and love ahead.